Hello, fellas. You're kidding me. On Point Brewery, red IPA, 5.7 ABV, 375. And this has come all the way from country Victoria. And we just went country for the day. Spent a bit of time. This is an autumn beer. And they use crystal malts to get a nice red colour happening, I reckon. Looks pretty bloody good. And Carlton had a win, so I'm going to use their glass. Hopefully I'll get to use it a couple more times the rest of the year. These guys are in Alexandra, which is a little town. It's got a few hotels. I think it's the Shamrock we used to go for dinner back in the 80s. Or late 70s even, we went up there. What a weird place. We used to stay on the Akron River. There was a caravan park, and we'd have a tent. And Alexandra was the close by town Saturday night. We always went out Saturday night for counter dinner. At the pub. Cheers, guys. That's not too bad. 5.7, it would be nice 6.7, but our alcohol tax just kills our beer. They're going to pay so much, and if the beer's shit, they've just lost so much money in tax because they can't sell the beer, but they've already paid the tax on the beer. That doesn't work. In my book, that's wrong. You're going to have spoils, you know. People are going to burn shit. They're going to turn good beer into bloody Guinness by accident. But that tastes pretty bloody good. That's really well balanced. Plenty of malt, but not sweet. The hops is coming through. It's fluffy, creamy head. Lovely head. It's gorgeous. Alexandra's so friggin' hot in summer. You know, those when you get 38 degrees to 44, 43, 41 the next day. It's so hot there. Oh, wow. You're looking for car park with shade. You're looking for shade. Melting in the sun. You can't water ski when it's 40 degrees. It's just too hot. Usually have a big break. You have a huge lunch. And then you sort of hang out and cool down for a few hours and then maybe start skiing again 2 or 3 o'clock. But the better skiing is 6 o'clock when all the winds died down and you've got Mirror Lake or river or ocean for water skiing. It's grouse. You really cut up some beauties early in the morning and late at night. You really get the best water for water skiing. You ever going away, that's the secret. And, you know, end of the day, when you're a kid, it was fine. The end of the day now, it's the last thing you want to do is jump on a bloody water ski. You know, rip those buoys, just cutting back in. It's grouse. Dry river start, dry river finish. You're not even wet, just from your own spray. But yeah, used to love skiing, snow skiing as well, water skiing, grouse. Totally different but good. Sort of similar in a way, but not. Anyway, good beer, good times. Back in Australia, up the Yarra Valley today. It was a good little trip with Autumn. So last week we got the cherry blossoms in Japan, and it rained the last day we were there, and that kills most of the cherry blossom except the real immature ones that haven't popped out, but there's not many left. We're like near the arse end. Some trees were in full bloom. It was grouse. Some are dying off. By the end of the rainy day, nah, not much happening. Next morning it didn't look so good. It looked pretty much over. So a bit of a lucky. Didn't rain while we're there. Had a bit of cherry blossom, Osaka. The girls got plenty up in Kanagawa. We're about 2 months late on the island, Okinawa. Yeah, it was 2 months late, so we didn't see autumn there. But that's alright. We got it in Tokyo at Ueno Park, which is world famous, one of the best places to go, and the other one, the world famous, well, I always call it Osabusa, and it's totally wrong. They say Osaksa. Osaksa. How's that one? So eventually you get it right. Osaksa. What a great area. That's the temple area. Probably one of the best places to be in Tokyo. We were staying right in the guts of it during cherry blossom. That was fantastic. I won't be going back again, cherry blossom. I can give it a tip. Too many friggin' tourists. I said it in one of the videos. You're all kidding me. Too many fucking tourists. Fucking hell. I'm a tourist. I always class myself as a traveller, not a tourist. I don't act like a tourist. I don't, whatever. Won't go there. Try to tread lightly. We had a great time. All the people around us were really, really good. The Japanese people were so friendly and so polite and helpful, and we didn't really have a problem with the Japanese-English barrier. It all worked out pretty well. We had a couple of bad turns here and there. Well, we lose 20 minutes, 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. You're kidding. So there was one, there was a slipway road and there was a freeway, and we weren't sure which one to go, and you got a 50% chance of getting it right. And I got it right twice and I got it wrong twice. And we just did a loop-de-loop and got back on the freeway and we're away. So yeah, Japan's pretty good with the Google Maps. That'll get you through. And the hire cars are cheap. And it costs us like $17 for about a week driving a car, because it was a hybrid. It didn't take any fuel at all. The gauge didn't move for 2 days around Naha, that local area, going to spas and to the fort and a few other places. It didn't even move. It was on electric most of the time. Up in the mountains, up in Matubo, yeah, we used a bit there because you could hear it kicking in, the engine to get up the steep hills, that would kick in. But so cheap for petrol, you're fucking kidding. 1 week, $17 Australian, you're kidding me, I had a Mustang convertible in Hawaii, and petrol was cheap back then, and I think we still spent about $40 on fuel. The big V8 guzzler, and we drove all the way around the whole Big Island, up the top of Mauna Kea, out every day, going to different places, snorkeling here, famous beaches, going to waterfalls, whatever. But in Japan, with one of those, it would have only cost us like 20 odd bucks. Not 40, and that was years ago when petrol was cheap. It'd be like $100 now. 17 in bloody Okinawa, you kidding? So if you checked out the videos, Okinawa, there were some really good places we stayed, close to really good beaches, the mountain. We're right next to a national park, big walks. And, it's like that. It's like, if you look, you can get somewhere pretty cheap if you book them months ahead. Same with the flights. They're doing Okinawan flights for $60. It's a 2-hour flight. Who does $60 flights for 2 hours in Australia? That's like Melbourne and Brisbane. You're going to pay a lot more than 60. I think we paid 120 for one flight. They started going up. You got to book it. I said to the missus, book these. We've got to have flights. She goes, oh, well, wait a bit. I go, no, they're going up already. They were 60, then they were 80. I think the Jetstar cost 80 and the Japanese airline cost 120, but it was worth it. It was Japanese airline. What a great airline. What a great plane. Really quiet. Done really nice inside. All the flight attendants are really attentive. Maybe a little bit over the top, but anyway, the missus reckon they're over the top. She's a flighty, so she should know. Double checking the seatbelts all the time. Yeah, that was got the missus thinking and talking. What's going on? They're checking all the time. Anyway, Japan, love it. Okinawa, worth going. Put it on the bucket list, guys. Book early, get in there with the cheap flights, cheap accommodation, and a cheap hire car. Same side as the road as Great Britain and Australia. So you got no problem there. Thailand, like I always drove or motorbikes around Thailand. Japan's the same. Straight in the car, you sort it. It's too easy. With the GPS, you can't go wrong. We found everywhere we wanted to go. We hit and missed a couple of times, but not really, We're pretty much on the ball every time, so relax on that count. And you look up the best restaurant where you are, and they'll tell you, and you go, oh, fuck, I feel like, Mexican or Chinese or steak or whatever you feel like, you just go there. We had Nepalese, it was fantastic. Best bread I've ever had in an Indian restaurant. It was Nepalese. So it wasn't Indian. Yeah, I enjoyed Japan. That's why I've been talking fucking too long. You're all kidding, I better get off. Nick and boring, you comes to pieces. Japan, Japan, Japan. Shut the fuck up. Alright. See you guys.